Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of our Enhance Virtual Summit 2020. My name is Matt Peace. I'm Account Director here at Enhance, and I'm welcoming you to the beginning of our second day. Just a quick sort of recap, really. So yesterday, it's good to see so many familiar names on the list this morning. Yesterday was very much focused around ERP with some great presentations on Dynamics GP, Business Central, and the sort of wider Microsoft ecosystem. But day 2 is very much focused on our efforts in the charity sector. And hopefully during the day, you'll see a lot of presentations aimed specifically at charities and some of the solutions that we've managed to develop working very closely alongside Microsoft. This first session this morning, though, we're really pleased to have someone here from Microsoft who is Ian Drew, who works for the Microsoft Tech for Social Impact team. So Ian's going to be talking us through a little bit about what that means, what Microsoft are doing in terms of the sort of wider input into the charity sector, and he's going to be kicking off proceedings today. Just a little bit about housekeeping very quickly. If you've got any questions, we're on a slightly tight sort of time limit today, so if you can pop them in the chat, we'll pick them up offline and we'll make sure we get back to you. And do keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for recordings of the sessions that we'll be doing today. So that's enough from me. I'll pass you straight over to Ian, who can take over from here. So over to you, Ian.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being great to be here with you all today. Thank you to Enhance for this opportunity to speak to you as well. I'm honoured to be here and share with you more about our efforts to create a positive impact for people and the planet. My name is Ian Drew. I work for Microsoft's Tech for Social Impact business. And over the course of the next 15 or so minutes, my aim is to share with you the vision that we have within Tech for Social Impact, our approach to working with non-profits, and then in driving social change. So I'm just going to take my camera off so you guys can focus on the recording. So working in Microsoft's Tech for Social Impact business, we're fortunate to see some really inspiring examples like these every day. And I'm actually filled with hope that the impact non-profits are having and the difference organizations like your own are making in people's lives. But I also recognize that this is an unprecedented moment in modern history. And as we continue the response and then begin the process of recovery from the corona pandemic, the role of non-profits and what they play in society is going to be more than ever, more important than ever. Whether you run a food bank, offer direct emergency medical intervention, maybe mental health counselling, or provide job training, the demand for those services has probably never been greater. But at the same time, the challenges have never been more daunting. Fundraising revenues we see are down between 40, 50% and more, having to furlough staff, lay off staff and manage cash flows, and depending more and more obviously on volunteer staff at the same time. We saw IT leaders across the sector scrambling to do the impossible, managing the financial pressures while scaling their services to support an increasing level of demand. So as we continue with this uncertain future, it's important to take time and think how we can all adapt and deliver against the demand that we see. At Microsoft, we believe that technology is a powerful force for empowering people and organizations, and we see it every day in our work. Whether it's doctors delivering data to prevent malaria outbreaks, therefore stopping the disease, or humanitarian organizations delivering digital literacy and language programs to refugees who no longer have home or livelihood. We truly believe that the success of the non-profit sector is a critical part of how we achieve our mission as a company. But to do this, we have to make the benefits of the world-class technology accessible, affordable, and relevant for non-profits. Microsoft has been donating our software products to the non-profit sector for many years. And with the growth of cloud computing back in early 2016, Microsoft Philanthropies committed to donating $1 billion in cloud computing resources over a 3-year period to help 70,000 non-profit organizations to digitally scale their impact and serve the public good. We reached our original goal a year early and donated cloud services to more than 90,000 non-profits. We saw the demand for change from the sector, and so we decided to do more. We created Tech for Social Impact. creating together philanthropy and donation teams focused on non-profits, together with operations, account and technology teams, introducing predictable pricing and more routes to access cloud services that we know the sector is demanding. We formed a solutions team, bringing in expertise from the sector to help us tackle the challenges that we know that you face. And with a business model to reinvest profits to provide more help to the sector, expanding the TSI team, helping us to expand the available donations. For example, we brought in the 10-seat donation of Microsoft 365, which combines the security and productivity capabilities that we know the sector needs, with any remaining profit being used by Microsoft's Philanthropies, supporting other initiatives, supporting things like AI for humanitarian impact and digital skills initiatives for underserved communities, as an example. We plan to triple the number of nonprofits that we reach with the transformational power of the cloud to more than 300,000 over the next 3 years. And we will do this so that you and the other nonprofits can continue to drive the amazing work that you're all doing. So in just our first year, we were able to introduce more nonprofit offers, delivering standard, predictable pricing irrespective of licensing routes. We tried to make things easier to do business with us by creating those managed account teams that I mentioned earlier. And we stood up things like nonprofit help desks. We started to mobilize, importantly, our partners to engage and help within the sector. The solutions team that I talked about earlier got established, and we worked with Microsoft's product teams to start the innovation. And more recently, we've invested in engineering teams to deliver on our ambitions. Importantly, that solutions team introduced things like the common data model and Accelerator for nonprofits, which helps nonprofits to utilize our tools like Dynamics 365 and break down the barrier of siloed data. But I will unpack more on this in a bit more detail shortly. Because first, I want to take a moment to reflect on the wider impacts of this new shared reality that we're all facing at the moment. Firstly, it's a reality where remote work is now the new norm, especially for many in this sector, where your typical office footprint is likely changing. You need secure and affordable solutions to help in this new hybrid working world for today, and possibly well into the future, all based on a secure and trusted cloud platform. Secondly, it's a reality where you may have to reinvent service delivery and digitize it, replicating physical engagement with new service models. For example, providing healthcare service in a remote setting, or providing community support services in a more deeply engaging way, utilizing IT to digitize that service delivery. Thirdly, a reality that demands using data and AI to create a step change where it's urgently needed. We congratulate the likes of the World Food Programme for winning the Nobel Peace Prize recently. The committee commended their efforts in combating hunger and contribution to peace in conflicted areas of the world. But I'm proud to share that the World Food Programme has been working with us at Microsoft to use artificial intelligence to rapidly deliver food at the right time and the right place. And fourth, a reality that's where it's never been more important to optimize the core processes like fundraising and engagement. For example, having a 360-degree view of donors to drive efficient and effective fundraising, unlocking digital interaction, and really do fundraising and events in a whole new way. And today, there's no question that the social economic impacts of COVID-19 will likely be felt for years by the nonprofit sector. Not only did organizations move 100% of their workers to remote overnight, they did so as donation revenue dried up and office closures, furloughs, and layoffs became the norm. And as you know, this is all happening as demand for social services is off the charts. Early on in this crisis, we heard that 74% of organizations reported cancelled fundraising, 52% reported a loss of earned income revenue, and another 40% saw declines in donations. We know that technology isn't the whole answer, but we also know that new models for incorporating digital technology into mission and operations are needed to weather the current storm and assist with the recovery as the immediate crisis abates. As we formed Tech for Social Impact, we spent a lot of time meeting with nonprofits around the world to understand the needs. Consistently, we heard nonprofits tell us that they need better tools to deliver their missions and to measure and communicate their impact. Tools that are built on standards that facilitate interoperability across solutions so that they can share information between different tools and with other agencies. Tools that are built on the best practices of the sector, tools that are tailored for their specific needs and workflows, and finally, tools that are secure, compliant, and affordable. So we spent time working with the sector and our partners to create this value map of the key scenarios that have uniqueness to the nonprofit sector, mapping detailed user scenarios against these. We started in the area of program delivery. Nonprofits, of course, have different missions and may operate differently, but you're all delivering impact to your beneficiaries, whether that's a person or a beach. And you're also businesses that have to be prudent in financial and business management. We focus next on constituents and funding, building out models and templated solutions around how organizations raise funding and guiding that into programs that they deliver. And then we layered in around insights and impact, because this is obviously how you tell your donors just how effective you are in taking their funding and delivering value. To deliver against these key scenarios, we developed the Nonprofit Accelerator, working with the sector and partners again to publish the common data model for nonprofits and building accelerator components on top of our own Dynamics 365 sales and finance and operations platforms to deliver solutions that met the need of the sector. Enhance have been helping us to develop both the data model and the accelerators and supporting customers to gain value of both. During our customer dialogue, repeatedly we hear that donor expectations are high. Your donors are expecting a more professional and personalized experience with nonprofits. They want to know that the money that they're donating is having a positive impact. And organizations need to be more transparent and connect donor revenue to that impact. So therefore, you need solutions that are going to work for you and meet these expectations. So understanding the requirement to be even more effective with your fundraising work, earlier this month, we announced the launch of the Fundraising and Engagement for Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise, which builds on the common data model and accelerator for nonprofits that I just talked about. It's a solution to aid your fundraising and engagement activity, which contains a rich set of capabilities, including constituent management, opportunity management, gift processing, and event management, enabling you to create donors for life and increase mission impact by getting a holistic, connected view of fundraising, finance, and program functions. Enhance are one of our launch partners, so connect with them to understand if this is the right fit for your organization. Meantime, you can visit aka.ms/fundraising and engagement to learn more. So far, what I've talked about is how our nonprofit accelerator can benefit you if you're deploying tools like Dynamics 365. But not every nonprofit is ready for such a capable solution, nor has the budget. And yet they're likely to suffer the same pressures to report on the effectiveness of their programs. So we looked at how we could use our other cloud services to extend the value of the common data model. Using Microsoft Power Platform and the common data model to help even more nonprofits. So let me introduce you to the Nonprofit Operations Toolkit, a self-service operations solution meant for small nonprofits that are currently managing their awards and grants, time tracking and expense management in spreadsheets. With a mobile app to enable their staff to quickly and easily track their expenses and hours on the go, with centralized finance and operations information, and a workflow management that utilizes things like Microsoft 365 and our Power Platform services, and built on the nonprofit common data model to protect your data investments and allow the extensibility that the sector asked us for. This means that smaller nonprofits can immediately see value by centralizing their management and their projects, awards management, and thus enabling better centralized record management, project planning, cost tracking, and company administration, helping to reduce costs and building trust with funders. But that's what we at Microsoft have built using the nonprofit accelerator and common data model. But you should know that our partners, including Enhance, have been making extensive use of the Power Platform to help extend the value of their solutions to benefit your organizations and its users. So, we're living in challenging times. Even before COVID-19, rapid advances in technology like AI and cloud computing were reshaping our economy. Since COVID-19, we've all experienced how technology can transform how we live, how we work, and how we learn. There's an amazing potential in these new technologies to advance nearly every field of human endeavour and to address society's biggest challenges. Cloud technology is enabling great progress in many aspects of our lives. And so, having focused on how we make the benefits of our cloud services accessible, affordable, and relevant for nonprofits, it's important that you also understand that we take very seriously our obligation on trust and inclusivity. And so, in closing, I want to highlight these three assets for you. The first is our Trust Centre, because trust is key. And our Trust Centre is where you can learn about our position on security and privacy, compliance and transparency, which is pivotal if you want to build trust and start to make a difference with cloud technologies. Next, I'm sharing our dedicated nonprofits page where you can learn more about price eligibility, how to access the cloud and where to get help. And finally, I'm sharing our accessibility page. Here in the UK, 1 in 8 people have some form of accessibility requirement, and a higher proportion gain employment within the charity sector. And so understanding how technology can unlock opportunities for that group to get better support and therefore better support your organisations is therefore important. So thank you again to Enhance for the opportunity to be with you here today. Thank you for listening and hopefully for choosing Microsoft to support your organisation in the delivery of its mission. And I'll hand back to Matt.
Thanks, Ian. Firstly, I hope everybody has found that session useful. I think it's really good to see the commitment from Microsoft themselves in terms of the sector. And hopefully throughout today's session, you'll see that through what Enhance are doing alongside Microsoft, there's plenty of solutions available for you. So Ian, thank you very much for your time. It's always good to have you at these events. And we hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day. If you do have any other questions, don't think we had any in the chat, so if anyone does have any questions after this session, please speak to your Enhance contact, or you can actually email sayhello@m-hance.com. So thanks everyone for your attention, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you.